This week's topic on Channel Mum is body positivity, and I've actually made a video about this before, which I'll link up here if you'd like to check that out after this one. But it's a topic and an issue that I feel really, really strongly about, so I really wanted to get involved and give you my thoughts, specifically about body positivity in pregnancy, as well as I'll touch on a little bit about how I feel afterwards as well, and how that's changed over the course of 4 pregnancies and 4 babies. But I hope it's of interest to you. It's something that I think once you become a parent, especially to girls, but actually having said that, equally to boys as well, it's such an important message to instill in them as well, which is I think why I feel so strongly and so passionately about it. Starting off with how I feel about my body in pregnancy, I love being pregnant. I never feel more comfortable and confident and happy in my own skin as when I'm pregnant. I don't know, I've thought a lot about that this time around. If you don't know me already, this is my 4th pregnancy and I'm 38 weeks pregnant with baby number 4. So I've done this a few times before, and I think through each one I've become more and more in love with my own body when I'm pregnant. I think the first time around I possibly struggled a little bit more to accept the changes, and I think that's obviously quite a normal experience for women. You know, it's the first time in your life where you've got no control over what happens in terms of weight gain, or very little control anyway. And I did go a bit overboard with the eating for 2 thing when I was pregnant first time round. I actually got married when I was pregnant and with my first, and I was nearly 6 months pregnant. So for a long time I hated my wedding photos because I did put on a lot of weight that time. I can see it in my face and my arms and my chest and everywhere. I just put on weight all over, and for a long time I didn't really want wedding photos up around the house because I didn't like the way I looked in them if you could see anything past my sort of collarbones and down, which is sad really. I mean, I look at them and I remember the most wonderful day. We got married in New York in Central Park, and it was perfect in every single way. I look back on those photos now and I just think to myself how amazing it is that my first baby was there with us when we were getting married. He was in my tummy and he was a part of it in that sense too. And it's weird because I felt the insecurities about being in my wedding dress and being photographed on the day. But when we went on honeymoon and I was letting it all hang out in my bikini on the sun lounger, it didn't bother me in the slightest. I didn't bat an eyelid about it. I just was perfectly comfortable in my own skin. So I'm not entirely sure why I felt so much different on my wedding day. I guess it's because all the attention is on you, and we had family and people sort of look at you when you're getting married in the middle of Central Park. So I guess it was more what people thought rather than what I personally felt on the day. So I got pregnant with my second baby very quickly after having the first. There's only 14 months between them. So my body didn't really have time to go back to how it was before, because I was still breastfeeding my first when I fell pregnant at 5. He was 5 months old when I got pregnant with baby number 2. And in a lot of ways, I think that was great for me because I didn't have to worry about getting my body back, and I wasn't even there, to be honest, anyway. I wasn't thinking in those terms before I got pregnant again. And one just kind of rolled into the other and I just went with the flow, and that was that. I think I put on a lot less weight second time around, possibly because I still hadn't lost, it was hard to tell because I still hadn't lost everything from the first one. And then fast forward a few years to baby number 3, and I enjoyed every single second of being pregnant with him. I was that little bit older, so I think I think I've kind of mellowed in that sense as I've got older and become more confident in my own skin as a general rule. So my feeling about being pregnant was nothing other than just being in awe of what female bodies can do and how blessed and grateful I was to be able to carry 3 babies and have another baby and all of those things. So I never for a split second felt uncomfortable in my own skin when I was pregnant that time around. And I would say I feel exactly the same, if not more so, this time with baby number 4. I know it's our last baby. I know we won't be having any more. I just love how I look and feel when I'm pregnant. I like to wear tight-fitting clothes and show off my bump. I think there's an element as well of just it being such a empowering feeling to have this huge belly and not have any judgment attached to that. Like, women spend so much of their time stressing about, you know, oh, this bit's wobbly, that bit's wobbly, or this bit's bigger than it was 6 months ago, or whatever your personal insecurity might be. The majority of women spend a lot of time focusing on that. At least in my experience, I have done in the past. And to not have any of that worry or anxiety attached to what your tummy and the rest of your body looks like is just really empowering, I think. And I feel 100% confident in my own skin when I'm pregnant. Even to the point where I don't worry or fret about the wobbly bum and thighs that come with being pregnant for me. At the end of the day, I'm planning to breastfeed, and that's where all the milk store is. That's where all of the fat that goes to make the breast milk is kept in pregnancy, and that in itself is amazing. So embrace those wobbly bits. But with all of that comes obviously an acceptance of how you feel after you've had the baby, and that is a little bit more complicated, admittedly, but I've found as time goes on and as I've had more babies, I've learnt to deal with that in a much healthier way. After my second baby, because the 2 pregnancies were so close together and my body didn't really change a great deal between giving birth to the first and getting pregnant again with the second, I definitely went through a period of wanting to get my body back in between having my second baby and a few years later when I had my third. And I got to a place where I was really happy with how I looked. I was going to the gym a few times a week, I was running, I was doing Pilates, and I felt great. And there is a part of me now that is looking forward to being able to do all of that again after this baby is born. But I'm always really conscious of how my actions and what I say out loud impacts on my children. My eldest 2 children are 10 and 9, and they're very much at an age where they are becoming more aware of their own bodies, and they've never said anything negative about how they feel in their own skin at all, and long may that last. But I don't want to have any impact or negative input into how they view themselves. I want to shower them with confidence and positive body image, and I don't want to put pressure on myself after having this baby and for them to pick up on that. So my plans this time around are very much to take it easy. I've had 4 babies, I'm in my 30s, I know it's not just gonna all drop away like it might have done 10 years ago, but I'm okay with that. I plan to enjoy those early newborn days and not stress about how I look or what I'm eating. I know my body will go back to somewhat normal on its own through just breastfeeding and being a busy mum. We're quite an active family anyway. My husband likes to go out on lots of bike rides. We go walking a lot. We're always down at the beach running around. So I'm going to try not to put any added pressure on myself. I'm very aware that's been pretty rambly, and I apologise for that, but I guess the most important thing that I wanted to get across is that over the course of 4 pregnancies, I've just completely fallen in love with my body and what it can do in pregnancy and how amazing it is. For me, the most important thing of all is for my children to see me have a healthy attitude to my body after a baby, and just to kind of involve them in getting out and being active and making healthy choices when it comes to what we eat. Please do head over to channelmum.com to check out all the other videos on body positivity this week, and get involved on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. There's absolutely loads going on, so do check it all out and spread the word, because it's such an important topic, not just for us women, but for our children as well. I'd love to know what your feelings are towards your body if you've had more than 1 pregnancy. Have you felt more relaxed as you've had more babies, or have you felt more pressure to get back to your pre-baby body with the more babies that you've had? I would love to know your thoughts, so please do comment below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.